What's up, guys? Back to work on the Porsche. We are doing some fiberglass today, and I don't know how to do fiberglass, so I got my dad here help me out. So far we have laid some saran wrap, a couple layers of fiberglass, and a whole lot of stuff so I don't make a huge mess. So I'll show you what's going on, and I'll show you what we're going to be doing. So right here what we have is 2 layers of, well, from the top to the bottom, 2 layers of this mat, shouts out, or wait, no, cloth. 1 layer of mat, and then 1 more layer of cloth underneath it, and some epoxy resin. And what we're going to be doing is taking this thing, stepped on that, we're going to be taking this, popping it out, and turning it around and making a sunroof delete. So that's what we're working on right now. All right, so while we're waiting for some resin to dry, I'm in our dusty wood room working on the bumper. And what I'm going to be doing is cutting this off, well, not off, well, off, and then bringing them together and basically tucking the bumper. It's going to be, you know, a lot narrower, and I think it'll look pretty sweet. So that's what we're doing. Gonna cut those and then pull them together, clean up the gaps a little bit, and then fill in the gap and glass them together. After I cut it, I use these little aluminum tabs and just screwed them into the fiberglass to hold it in place. Then we kind of fiberglassed a couple little band-aids on the inside, which were about like that big. I think we did 3 there, 3 there, and then each side there and there. Then once those dried, we were able, well, not we, but my dad was able to finish it up and get it all filled in. And this is just about dry, so this is pretty workable now. So it does need some work on the outside out here. Basically that'll be filled in with some kitty hair type Bondo, maybe some more epoxy, and then just kind of, you know, sanded and smoothed as necessary. And then we're going to add a big old vent to the front to feed the radiator. And then out of aluminum, I'll be adding a big splitter and, you know, all the other cool stuff. Oh, and then these I'm going to be making some brake cooling ducts out of aluminum, which will bolt on and feed air to the brakes. And then these are getting totally shaved off because they're stupid and useless. So next day now, pop this off of the roof. It's nice and solid. It's a little flimsy, but this is only our first layer, so we got a lot more to work up. So right now I'm going to cut the perimeter so we can get it all fitted up nicely. All right, so I got this piece cut out, which was the original layer that we put on top. Basically just traced that line, which is the actual sunroof opening, and then I just cut out a little bit around it, and we're either going to bolt or glue it to the ceiling. So now we're laying this piece down, which is going to be cut to the actual size of the sunroof, and it's going to be kind of glued on top of this piece to give us differences in the layers, so it's like flush fitting and not, you know, in there or anything. So got that coming, and got to wait for that to dry. That should take quite a few hours. And then how long should it take?
Probably 3 hours before it's even touchable.
Oh, okay. So yeah, about 3 hours, maybe 5-6 hours before I can sand it and stuff. And here is the front bumper test fitted. Just got it sitting on some jack stands next to the GT Racing front fender. Obviously, I'm gonna, you know, work the seams a little bit. Still probably gonna get rid of this thing. And then the plan here is to sort of make a little duct kind of like that there, come to about there or something, and then duct that into a brake cooling thing there. In the center, we're still going to do the radiator vent, so that's still as planned, but I think it looks pretty sick. It's You know, it still has this front belt line, like the factory ugly thing. We'll get rid of this, unlike the factory ugly thing. And then underneath, we're gonna have a splitter and some other little diffuser type things. It'll look cool. And since my dad is back home now, we're taking a little break on all the fiberglass stuff. And I started pressing in all the stuff I got. I got these back from Powder Coat along with some other parts I'll show you in a minute. I got my massive lug studs pressed in with the little bullet tip, which is pretty cool. Got new wheel bearings all around. And I forgot to put this guy in there. So what I'll probably do is just cut that. Cut that like right there. So I could slip that on, and then I'm also gonna have some sort of like brake duct shield thing, which will be set up the same way, just so I don't have to pull the hub out because it's a pressed in piece. So I don't have to pull that off to get the brake ducting off, because that would be super inconvenient. All right, so this here didn't work because that is too big, and I needed to keep a little bit of space there for the bolts. So chuck that. I'm thinking taking these guys, which you can see used to contact the bearing face anyways. It was these and then that other one on top. I don't know why. But I'm gonna cut right about along there. And then I'm gonna cut it in half there and there for, basically I'll just slip each side over. And then this and whatever, they were for the drum brake, e-brake setup, which I'm not going to be running. So, yeah, chop these down, and I think these will work perfect just as a simple bearing retainer. This right here is the final product of that. These will be sandblasted right here, and I'll probably do yellow zinc on them, which will give it some contrast, which will be cool, and you know, be a little bit simpler for me. So those are good. Not in a huge rush to get those done. So I'll sandblast those when I start doing some other parts as well. And the last thing I'm gonna be showing you right now is these mounts or reinforcements, which reinforce the rear shock tower, because usually this is just for a shock, but I'll be doing a coilover like a lot of people do. So these are some that I cut, and these are available for sale on my website if you need some for any reason. They fit up like this. Try not to block the light. Oh, well, whatever, I'll block the light. So they fit up nicely. They weld on, and they hold the, as you can see, how it ends up on top. It actually welds this part to this so that you don't have a problem with this like pushing out or getting ripped out or anything, because it's only held on by, you know, maybe 6 or 7 spot welds up there. So then you just weld like that, just weld that, and it's all super strong now. I'm also going to be, you see this crack right there, and then the engine bolts there. So I'm gonna be doing some reinforcements to these corners. They're probably a reinforcement from here to here, because that's not attached. It's all open. Pretty, could be a better design, but it was the 70s. What do you expect from them, really? And that is all for now. Sorry this video took me so long to make. It's just a culmination of weeks worth of footage, but here it is. I got a lot more coming. Of course, car's still gray. It's not red yet. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll be putting out some videos a little bit more consistently, but I need your guys' help. If you like this video, drop me a comment and tell me you love me, and it really helps me stay motivated to make these videos.